What's up, guys? This is Tom Drazi here. Welcome to another live rambling series that I'm doing right from my phone. This time I have my hands free because holding it with my hands has been a little tedious. So, how you guys doing? It's Wednesday night around 5 o'clock. Crack open a beer, have something to drink. We're going to ramble on today. So, I guess it kicks things off. I went ahead and I've been off for 2 days from work. You typically work in a deli department, so having 2 days off has been nice, allows me to catch up and breathe, and allows me to do some videos. So if you check my channel right now, I do have a video on my Smash stream that I'm working on doing a highlight video. And I just made a small joke video of Nez on how easy it is to beat Nez in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, nothing big, just something quick. And, you know, something to watch, I guess, until I get the stream, not the stream, the live stream, not the live stream. Jesus, I can't distinguish stream and live stream. The highlight corrected. So, sorry if my hair's out of whack. I was kind of lazy today. I went ahead and got my oil change done for my car and got my car inspected, and everything passed, and everything was good. Hunky dory. And on top of that, I've also started doing my Christmas shopping. So I bought my stepdad a hat, which was nice. He's a Patriots fan. So I went ahead and did that today. And then tomorrow I go back to work. I think I'm later in the day. I forget what time. So that's nice. I think it's noon to 9, something like that. It's a weird time. So I figured why not do a live rambling today? And then around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, my time, I'll probably do a Smash stream just to get Luigi finally done. Because that's what I'm still working on, is trying to get Luigi. With that said, uh, let's just talk about YouTube in general. I've been watching some people like, Bogey2998. I've watched Markiplier. I've watched Team 4 Star. I've seen some stuff. Um, Markiplier and his going down the rabbit hole of YouTube, if you're a new user or new viewer or whatever the case may be, I find that very oddly interesting. I don't know why, but that's something that does happen. Uh, and I kind of want to experiment myself, not do a video on it maybe, but just see what it's like to really go down a few clicks into weird ass shit on YouTube, because that's a thing. Um, just watch Boogie298 about the Game Awards, about what he's doing with his life and experiences and all that. So that's really cool. And I did watch the Game Awards. Like I said, stated that in the previous stream. But in that previous stream, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched a certain amount. So I watched maybe an hour before Smash came out. So that wasn't really a whole lot of time. But I did watch the trailer for Crash Team Racing, which looks great. I saw the Persona 5 Joker reveal for Smash, so that's something. And yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much for me. I wasn't super invested with the Game Awards, like I said. It's a novelty to watch. It's fun to watch, but it's not something that I was hooked on watching throughout. So, but that's just me. I let's see. So that happened, but hey, welcome to the stream. But yeah. So I was just in general watching. When it comes to crashing down, and it hurts inside. Hi, Justin. Welcome to the stream. Um, so yeah, I was talking about the Game Awards. Now I'm gonna move on. So, like I said, I've just been watching YouTube in general, just see what's been going on. Been watching videos on various things like Smash controllers, which is better, which is worse, based on frames. I've been watching a lot of the PlayStation Classic, the teardown, the hacking of it. So that's all been expanded on too. Do you think E3 is going to be dying out soon? It's possible. I think E3 will become either that or E3 changes, because I think the industry could still do an E3. It's just I don't know if the physical conglomerates will be at E3 anymore. So like technology and interaction for the investors will still happen, But I think the live press coverage won't be a thing of the future. It'll be a thing of the past. So honestly, I think I don't know. It will be this year. It may be a few years, maybe 10 years at best. If I had to give you a grand scheme window, at best, E3 would still have a physical presentation for their entertainment conglomerates like EA, Sony, Microsoft, uh, Bethesda, maybe if they do one. Um, Activision with their Call of Duty, which even Activision does their whole own Call of Duty. I feel like if every gaming company pulls a Nintendo Direct, I don't think E3 would be needed. But that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't say if they all pulled out. Like I said, if they did a physical form of it, like they bring the investors down there to try to touch the gadgets, do all that. Because E3 at the back then, when they first started, it wasn't really something that was press coverage. It was just something if you were an investor, shareholder of the company, it was more or less a huge business uh, central place to go to. So these whole grand scheme scopes of entertainment, of game trailers and stuff like that, that was not a thing back then. If anything, E3 was like CES, where they show technology of what could happen to investors and people who have passes or whatever the case may be to go check it out. But it wasn't something for the consumer base. Where E3, it's kind of leaning towards consumer base, but it's not. It's still mostly for the investors' sake or those that put money towards those companies. But at the same time, I feel like most of them will do a Nintendo where they'll live stream everything like the day before and then do a 3-day convention thing where you as a person that's invested money in these companies or for business practices or whatever the case may be, you'll go to E3 and experience everything, whether it's games, technology, whatever the case may be, of the live show. And then they'll bring on those to talk about it afterwards. So there'll be like a whole day where it's just dedicated for streaming of Sony's press conference, streaming of Microsoft press conference, streaming of EA, but not something so huge. It'll be within their own office spaces that they have that makes it feel, friendly for the workers. Because everyone's got to have that open-esque work environment. So that'd be something I could see them doing, like Nintendo. Won't be exactly like Nintendo, but it'll be something that they'll figure out on their own. So I mean, even let's look at some of Microsoft's first party branches. One that comes to mind is 343. They do social streams every Wednesday, where one of them hosts. They'll bring a guest on hand and they talk about Halo. I could see Microsoft doing something like that, where they have a person now host a stream of things to come, drop trailers in between the streams, and then from there, you just casually watch it. And then, like I said, E3 just becomes a convention where it's just a 2 to 3 day convention where you as a person physically goes there to play the games and interact and all that. So, Justin, you just gave me a pivotal point in my rambling stream that I was not planning to ramble on. So that works. I like it. So I'll have to update my description on that because I was not planning to talk about that, but that was something I went into. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on E3. So that's something that I can see changing in the near future, which is cool, but at the same time not cool. I don't know. That brings up the whole physical digital media debate. I guess we could jump into that because I personally I mentioned it in a previous ramble. I like the idea to have everything digital. Physical media is a nice novelty. It's great to have. The phenomenon with physical media, especially games, you don't have the manuals anymore. None of the games that you get today have manuals. You all have to either find a manual within the game itself or go to a digital website to find the instructions for your games. So the fact there's a lack of physical media already within the box says this thing's going to eventually go away, and it'll be either mostly for retro games or it'll be for something else. I don't know what, but I mean, it's sad that there's no instruction manuals anymore. Because that's what made it nice to have. Like, if I'm owning to own something physical, I want to have a game, and I want to have an instruction manual, and something that would appeal to me for me to buy the physical media. Because right now, game companies, when they look at these things, they're like, well, this is expensive to buy, or expensive to put money into just to sell to the consumer base. It's a lot easier to distribute the games online right from their own store. Downside is with digital media, you're eventually going to find those that are going to hack these gaming companies and find a way to crack these games right within their store, data mine them, and then pirate them right away. So it's not like it's a safe system. So I don't know. There's a debate between both. Like I said, I love physical media, but if they don't really support the media that I really want to be for buying, I'm not going to do it. I'll just stick to digital. Even though digital sucks because of DRM. DRM is going to ruin the digital marketplace anyhow, whether you know it or not, and it's settled. You know, like I said, it goes way back to the Xbox One live stream I did a while ago about how I couldn't play Red Dead Redemption 2 single player offline just because of the stupid DRM that Microsoft subtly put into their game or their console. So it's just like, whatever. But anyways, digital games definitely is more convenient, but I feel like physical games are faster to install onto a PlayStation, etc. I also hate collector's editions. But that's the thing about physical games. Yes, they are easier to put, they're easier to get and you can install them. But then guess what? You have to now also deal with the day one patch. Day one patches have never gone away. That's still something that's going to happen. Or if you buy digital, the day one patch may already be included in the game or downloaded the same day before you even activate the game. Like Smash, for a great example. I pre-installed Smash Brothers Ultimate on the 5th. When I unlocked it on the 7th, I didn't wait to play it. Like, even if there was a day one patch, it was already done. So, while I heard from a friend of mine at my job who got the physical game on midnight, went home, had to wait a 4-minute download for the day one patch. So, I mean, yes, a physical game is nice to have, but if you gotta wait another 10 minutes just to play the game that you went to physically go to GameStop to buy, and now you want to play it, but you gotta wait before you can play it right away. Again, they have their trade-offs. Like I said, I like the physical media, but I also like the convenience of digital. So, no matter which way you go about it, it's just not gonna be gaming is just gonna suck in either direction you go. And I have to morally accept the fact that, I mean, we never really owned these games to begin with, but with the physical games, I miss the old days of just putting a game in and just playing it right away. So do I. But with technology like Blu-ray and even Switch and their physical games, most of them are right away. I'm not saying everyone has a day one patch. Like, again, I don't even own a physical game for the Switch, honestly. But if I did, I imagine, like I said, everyone has a physical game that might have a day one patch, depending if it has multiplayer or whatever the case may be, for bug fixes. But I think another thing that drives the force for digital marketplace and digital gaming is the indie games. They are something that, I mean, I think even Reggie, in an interview with Nintendo, not interview with Nintendo, but an interview in general with someone else about how well Switch has been doing, he mentioned that the indie games and the indie market, with especially the DLC being everything being digital, is I think the driving force for digital. Not just, I mean, obviously convenience as well, but that's another avenue that brings it. Because if you're an indie developer, you're not going to have the money or the cost and coverage to make a physical game, a physical version of your game. Digital will be the only easy option you could do as an indie developer. AAA, they have no problem because they're banging buck for buck every time they release another game. So, like Call of Duty, even though Call of Duty went down physically this year in their physical sales, but they're up in their digital sales. So that's another sign. Either way, that's how I feel about physical and digital right now. And I think I'm gonna lay that topic to rest because this is now my third ramble of it, and I think this one was a little more cohesive in describing what I feel about both. Where I think the other two was just like I know what I want to say, but I'm conflicted either way in my head. So moving on. So other things I want to talk about. I've been watching once again, and again, this is something I went into a year ago about watching something called abandoned places or abandoned malls or dead malls or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is, but abandonment, urbanized areas, it just seems interesting. Even after a 5-10 year of just time capsuling something for 5-10 years, and then just seeing what it looks like after time, after the environment has worn down, or after people go in there and quote unquote loot it, strip it, it's copper, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I just like the appeal of it being eerie, I guess, and something that's not been touched for so long. Um, I have seen abandoned Toys R Us. I've also seen abandoned Kmart's. Actually, the one I just watched recently was from Bright Sun Films, which Dan Bell, the producer, or he has his own YouTube channel, produced that video with Bright Sun Films. And it's a Kmart that went under in, from what he said on the video, I think November of 1997. Had a small fire which destroyed the top of its roof. It caved in, and the owners of the property decided to seal it up with another, like, they just patched the roof basically with sheet metal. Like, it wasn't even just something that. And it's weird how it was done because it looks new. It looks like something that would be worked on, like the inside would be repaired or whatever the case may be to like shelter something, but it hasn't been touched in so long either. So yeah, I don't know. I have a weird attraction to, or at least a curiosity to these abandoned places and just watching them. The most famous one was what's it called? Shit, it's a mall, but I can't remember the mall name. Rolling Acres, that's what it was. The Rolling Acres Mall is the best one that I've seen that I've really gravitated towards because it was a dead mall from 2008 till 2016, and then from there between 2016 and 2018, it was torn down, stripped, and everything removed. So now it's just a flat land, other than the 5 anchor stores built around it that's not really touched. So, like a former, I think Macy's is still there. Um, the former Target turned into a warehouse, and I think the Sears building and the JC Penney building got destroyed or torn down, but the framing of it's still there. If you like abandoned places videos, do you also watch paranormal YouTubers that go around that stuff? Okay, so I think there's a how do I put this? I think there's a split line where I like abandoned places and I like urbanized abandoned places, and they're already creepy enough. But to do paranormal on top of that, I don't know. Like I have a weird vibe with that. Like paranormal abandoned places is great to watch. Even paranormal YouTubers is fun to watch. You know, ghost stories or ghost hunters or whatever the case may be. But I like the idea of places just being abandoned and untouched, and you just go to see them. Whether there's a background of death or disease or something that forced it to close down or whatever the case may be. Most of these places I'm looking at are forced to close down because of failures to the company and costs, bankruptcy, etc., etc., etc. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Because I know that there is differences between the two of them. I think I gravitate more just seeing the history of what this popular thing became, and how it just over time crippled or chipped away to the point where it's eerie enough to see it from afar. It's eerie enough to go into it, but if you're brave enough to explore it, cool, And I think I'm gonna jump ship on that part because there's this thing that I've said in a YouTube video. Finally, I'm gonna say it again. So there's this thing that's called HvZ, Humans versus Zombies. It's a modern day LARP, as I call it. It's a one-sided tag game, basically. If you're a human, you have Nerf blasters, socks, marshmallows, melee things. I don't know. It depends on the college or place that hosts the game. They have different rule sets for everything. It's constantly changing. Zombies, you could tag them with one hand, two hand, pool noodle, some sock projectile that is like an acid ball, whatever the case may be. Basically, imagination and creativity. And I like the idea of HvZ with abandoned places because it gives it that surreal feeling, which would be cool. Obviously, I would want if anyone was to do something HvZ related in an abandoned building or abandoned location, make sure it's safe before activity ensues. Especially if it's a decent game. Like if it's 100 people that are playing this game and you're taking place in So my imagination right now is take an abandoned dead mall, right, for a whole day. Place 100 people in there or 100 people around that surrounding area that obviously are playing HvZ. Explain the rules, explain everything else, give them a map, detail what is safe, what is not safe for play. Obviously, if you, if you go out of your way to be a dick, you're breaking rule number 1 and rule 0. Don't be a dick in these kind of games, and potentially hurting yourself, and potentially being a bad thing for everyone else. Even if we're at a college, we're constantly saying these things. So it's no different if you did it at a abandoned place. I think abandoned mall would be a cool idea because it gives it that surreal feeling of the post-apocalyptic vibe. How it would be executed, I don't know. I think Rolling Acres Mall would have been a perfect spot, but it's also had its bad share of history. So unless there's another dead mall or another abandoned place that is easy to get to, is safe enough for play, besides the marking on the map where it's not safe, and then just going with it. Because most of HvZ games revolve around escort missions, holding down at a certain point, collecting objectives to bring to a certain point. Then you hold that certain point for a set amount of time. I don't know. That's just my idea of HvZ being a little bit more surreal. And funny enough, this is where I'm going to get personal. There's this event that we do every summer called Midsummer, and it's in Binghamton. So with Midsummer in Binghamton, they've been doing this HvZ kind of gathering where it's a 2-day event where you're just going to a park pavilion. You're doing a picnic, you're snacking with friends and chit-chatting. But one of the days we actually go to Binghamton University and play HvZ. Now, the crowd size is usually between 50, 75 people. It's not a big game. But because no one's attending at the college, it makes it feel dead. So it's definitely surreal at that point because it's like no one is going through these buildings. It's quiet. Everything's shut down for the most part. So in a sense, it kind of feels like that, which is cool. But to actually do it in a real location would be even better, in my opinion. I don't know. Would you enjoy exploring in Europe? Finders, beepers, history seekers. I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Europe, so I'm just generally stating what I feel like with the idea of taking HvZ and just making it creepier. But I would imagine HvZ was probably, yeah, because HvZ is worldwide. It's not just United States. I have people that I know from Australia, from Canada, and from Europe who came over for End War to play in End War. So HvZ elsewhere that could make it even creepier would be cool too. But I don't know. I'm gonna move on from HvZ and abandoned places. That's just my general feeling and thoughts on that because I was thinking about that. That'd be fun. That'd be fantastically fun. So, but that's something I do off chance. Like I said, I play that in the summertime and I play it throughout the year most of the time. So, but anyways, I'll be doing a Smash stream later on tonight around 8, 9 o'clock. Continuing the road to Luigi because I still have yet to unlock Luigi. I went ahead, got Mega Man finally, and I unlocked Ike recently. I did try playing Smash Brothers with the Joy-Cons, but the combined Joy-Con controller, not the separate ones, because I'm not using a single Joy-Con to play Smash. It's just dumb. But yeah. So I do want to continue on with Smash and get Luigi, so that way I can do more things with Luigi. Because I like to play more Smash, but I want my main, and then unlocking everyone else. So that's just my vibe on that. Wow, a lot more people joined. Howdy. If you're just joining in, welcome to the stream. I was just talking about YouTube in general with people. We just talked about E3, how it might change from a physical to digital kind of thing. We talked about physical digital media. And I just got done doing abandoned places and taking the idea of HvZ and putting it in abandoned places. That way you're all caught up if you're just joining us. So it's just starting to talk about Smash and how I'm going to do a Smash stream later on tonight around 8, 9 o'clock. So if you want to join then, awesome. But anyways, what else do you guys want me to talk about? Because I did ramble on for about 26 minutes. And about why hasn't Nintendo put Luigi's Mansion on the Switch? Because Luigi's Mansion is on the 3DS. The one that's on that was from GameCube, it's on the 3DS. Same thing with Dark Moon. I'm not saying it doesn't go on. It shouldn't be on the Switch. I'm saying it should, but it's just not at the time being because Nintendo doesn't want to capitalize in their virtual consoles. You know, they have this silly idea of doing the NES Classic, Super NES Classic, and then not taking advantage of putting those kind of things on Nintendo Switch. Because what's the point of me doing Nintendo Switch online subscription for $20 a year and only getting NES Classics? I would like to have an N64, I would like to have GameCube, but God knows when that's going to happen. And the thing that gets me the most is Nintendo. You have your GameCube controller support. You have it on a adapter. The console recognizes you playing a GameCube controller. Yet you fail to, I don't know, update the UI to represent it's a GameCube controller, not a USB controller. And you've had this update since last year when Mario Odyssey came around. So the fact that there's GameCube support, GameCube controller support, we should be doing more GameCube games. At least from a virtual console standpoint. Because with virtual console the way it is, it's non-existent obviously, and I don't know. I don't really feel that interested with the NES Classics, like the ones that are on Switch. Like, yeah, Ninja Gaiden's out. Cool. That's something I might want to play. But out of the 25 plus games they have on there, I played Mario Brothers and Mario Brothers 3 to death. Every other game that's on there, I'm not really super keen on or interested in. So that's just how I feel about it. I wish Nintendo would do better, but it's Nintendo. So, although I will give credit to Nintendo for this, at least they did away with their weird, what's it called? Their weird Nintendo Creators Program. That's what it was. I'm glad they finally got rid of it this month. And anything that you upload on Nintendo or Nintendo games, as long as you use creative artistic choices, you're allowed to monetize those videos. If it's just straight gameplay with no commentary, that doesn't work. So you got to add something to it in order for it to be viable. So cool. Sorry, playing with something stupid on my desk. I was just fidgeting my hands. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. And I just saw a video of them someone on YouTube. I think it was Spawn something. I don't know. I've been seeing it in my recommendation feeds. What games would you like to see on Nintendo 64 Classic? For me, it'd be. But see, here's the thing about the N64 Classic. Reggie has deconfirmed that being a thing, at least for the time being. As far as I know, the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic are actually supposed to be done after this year. Once all the stock is sold out for those two classics, apparently Nintendo is going to be focusing on bringing games, not in a virtual console sense, but games to the Nintendo Switch platform. What that may entail, I don't know, since the NES Classic and Super NES Classic are being sold till there's no stock left. So that's something neat. Something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully Nintendo does something. Because if they don't, well, then what the hell am I playing this online subscription for? Speaking of online subscriptions and stuff like that, I don't know what's going on with Smash. I guess Smash Online is not, in the best sense, great right now. I'm seeing a lot of people really disgruntled about how the online system works with battle arenas, matchmaking, quick play, etc., etc., etc. And how if you have local, like if you bring your friends over and you and your friend couch co-op play against people online, it's not a thing. Like, how did you make this game with the intention of having a friend sit next to you playing Smash online, and you didn't make that thing? Your console has two controllers, one on either side, where most games you implement some sort of co-op feature for those two controllers. Smash is a multiplayer game. What the hell? Like, I find that really weird Nintendo did that. Or how the Smash development went. So, apparently because of how bad the online's been, Nintendo, as far as I know, the Nintendo support is looking for feedback on the online system. Hopefully to fix their online games and such like that for Smash. I don't know about every other game. You figure this $20 a month deal, or if you're doing the family plan, which is like $34 a month, or $34 a year. Sorry, $20 a year. That's what I meant. Year subscriptions, not month subscriptions. I'm terrible. You figure all that extra money will be going into improving the infrastructure of the matchmaking system and their servers. But you gotta keep in mind, these games that were made prior to this service, like Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8, or any other online games, I don't know if those had service to begin with. Because I feel like Switch does a P2P server, like a P2P connection. There's no back-end servers that improve the online gameplay. It's just like everything else, like their Nintendo Wi-Fi system or their Nintendo Network system from previous consoles and games. Those infrastructures were just for free. So Switch started just for free before switching to a let's improve infrastructure pay system. So God knows when Nintendo's going to fix all that with their quote-unquote new income money that's coming through. Well, there was an investment call saying, yes, we should increase DLC for games that are already out, which is a great idea. I'm glad Nintendo's thinking that way. But they're also still steps behind in doing proper online infrastructure. I don't know. It's Nintendo. They have the best innovation ideas in the world, but lack the inherent capabilities to do what they need to do. So, that's Nintendo. But I'm trying to think of what else to talk about. I'm running out of things to chit-chat about. That's on my mind. I mean, personally, I'm doing fine. I'm not sick. I'm just tired right now. I did get a lot of sleep last night. I actually had a really surreal dream last night. I guess I could ramble on about that, which is weird. Um, couldn't make much sense of it, but the tail end of it was just weird. Favorite game controller? Alright, so I'll jump ship from that to that. My favorite game controller, which I actually have right on hand, next to the game controller is this. My Xbox One controller. Customized controller. It's got the rubber pad grips. It's comfortable to use. And it's got Bluetooth, which the older versions of this kind of controller did not have. That is definitely one of my favorite controllers. Next to the game controller. If I had to rank them, obviously that would be number one. Number two would be the game controller. Number three would probably be either the PS4 DualShock or the original DualShock controllers, because those were more comfortable than anything. And then even the classic Sega Genesis controller was comfortable. I had no issues with that one. But then again, my hands are not small really, so those are comfortable. Even the Xbox, the original Xbox Duke controller, I'm comfortable using that controller. So that's my vibes on controllers. But yeah. So this weird dream I had, I don't know why or how it happened, but too long didn't read. Basically, the dream involved me being in this like surreal world that had weird society rules. So like the society was, you have this thing, you have this special day, and I guess this special day required you to have your own uh, weird vibe of. It's just so weird to describe this. So basically, it's like manhood for like certain religious things like with the Jewish community, how you get to a certain point to become a man. It was in this kind of similar vein, where you go out for your whole life and you go into this manhood by, I guess, showing how your life works to this community, but no one in your community, like anyone that's a part of your life for that special day of respect, cannot be involved. So like, let's say for instance you're living at your parents' house. You would go quote unquote to this community for their respectful day, and anyone you know, your friends, your family, etc., cannot be present at all for this entire day. But this community that's supposed to bring you up for your special day will be around you, observing what you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, alone. And then, I don't know, going throughout, I was talking to people that I have no clue who they were, had like this weird description or like code language. Like everyone's still talking English, but then there'd be certain words or phrases or something like that that I'd never heard of before that would be like a code for it was like a language code of respect too. So I don't know. This dream was making no sense whatsoever. It was a weird ass dream. That's basically the gist of this. I don't know what the hell I ate or what I had to drink to cause this weird ass dream that I don't even know. It was just so weird. So that's something that happened today. Oh, oh boy. But yeah, so I slept for quite a while between last night and today. So that was something I did, and I figured I'd talk about that dream because that was something that did happen and was on my mind. So, but yeah, I don't know. It was just something that I hope I don't dream again, because sometimes you dream of something and then you go back to bed and you dream it again, but it's like a sequel to whatever the hell it was or a prequel. I don't know. It's weird. Or I'm just weird. Probably both. So, other than that, let's see. After this stream, I'm going to go food shopping because I need to buy some food. That's something I need to do because I'm an adult. I need to live. And then from there, like I said, I'll do some dinner and then I'll do my Smash stream. So, And like I said, I go back to work tomorrow. And yeah, continue making videos after that, hopefully. I still have a lot stream highlight I'm working on. I still have my 7 Days Die video I'm working on. And some other things. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to talk about or ramble on. I'm interested to hear. Any thoughts, comments, any JoJo's? Because, you know, I love JoJo. So, I don't want to do politics. I'm going to say that right away. Because I do. The Oreo chocolate peanut butter pie is not that great. Well, I never had the Oreo chocolate peanut butter pie. I've had an Oreo pie before. I've had a Reese's pie before. But never had a Oreo peanut butter chocolate pie. That's something I never had before. It sounds good. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can find it and try it, because that would be fantastic to have. It's not pie. Okay, is it a cookie pie? Is it's just a cake, or what are we talking about? Because your previous comment said Oreo peanut butter chocolate pie, so I'm confused. You may want to clarify that, because I'm just like, what? That sounds great, but you also don't like it that much. Maybe there's an autocorrect issue. I don't know. So, it's cookies, but the cookies is the pie crust. Oh, okay. I see now. I see what you mean. I get you. Well, I mean, to be fair, those kind of things are kind of cheap, so I don't blame you there. If it didn't turn out that great, then that explains a lot. So, I am craving a burger. I do want to get myself a burger after this stream. But whether or not, well, yeah, Five Guys actually sounds good right now. So, that might be something I'll do after the stream, is some Five Guys. Alright. Last thoughts, comments, concerns, and ramblings. I don't know. Oh yeah, I did go back on Steam recently because I wanted to go replay Stellar Interface, which Stellar Interface is coming to the Nintendo Switch on January 11th. I'm gonna constantly plug that. For $12.99, and it's a fun indie title game. It's a space shooter. That's what I meant to say. It's a rogue space shooter game, and it's a lot of fun, and it has a lot of replayability. So, but it was on Steam. Went ahead and played that. I tried it out because the game was updated recently by the developer. I'm also still helping the developer with some stuff, just as a side thing, just like to do it for fun. He does have a Patreon page as well, if you want to check that out. Imagination Overflow on Patreon. So, I think I'm out of things to ramble on. Justin, you are the rambling man. You got me to ramble quite a bit today, and I appreciate it. And I give a shout out to the Justin Chipman Show. Go check him out on YouTube. He helped me ramble on today. So, I'll think about something else to ramble on soon enough. There's always stuff that's going on every day. So, and this is now the longest rambling video on the series. So, I actually should probably make a playlist on this now, finally, since this is now the 5th video of me doing this. And as I said, Justin Chipman Show. I don't know. Guy says, I don't know, the comment says J-Chip Show. Let me go with J-Chip Show, I guess. I don't know. I figure I try to be a little bit, say the full name. But maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. I gave you a shout out either way. Yeah, so I'm going to make a playlist on this. And every stream I try to come up with something new to ramble on about. And if you comment below, you want me to ramble on something, I will. Except politics. Because I will not touch politics. Oh no. So, with that said in mind, guys, I'm going to get off YouTube. I'm going to stop streaming right now. I'm going to go do my food shopping for the day. Get some dinner in me, and then I'll be back on a bit to do a stream on Smash. I'll try to work on my audio quality for that one. I did check out my previous stream where I did amp up the game volume, but then my mic volume went lower. So I'm probably going to bring it back the way it was originally. And I will be recording myself on camera, just it'll be separate. So you'll see footage of me reacting to the game for for highlights, just not on the actual stream. So with that said in mind, Tom Trosky is going to sign up for now from his rambling series. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment below. Check me out on all my social media stuff that I will be listing below after the stream. And I'll see you guys in the next live ramble. Bye-bye. Yes, I want to stop.